This is Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by #1 Air, the official HVAC and electric partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. The National Medal of Honor Museum. Join the mission at mohmuseum.org. Buffalo Wild Wings. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton and Kevin Gray.
Welcome to week number 10 of the National Football League. It is Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Kevin Gray of 105.3 The Fan, joined as always by my main man, my partner every single week. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time Super Bowl champion, member of the Black College Football Hall of Fame. He is Nate Newton. Nate, what's going on? Good to see you.
Hey, man, I'm hyped, man. We got two great cats sitting between us, man. I'm just going to get out the way and let these dudes rock and roll, baby.
Ready to talk some ball tonight. Joining us from DallasCowboys.com, he's a proud Georgia Bulldogs, son of Georgia. DallasCowboys.com's own Patrick Walker joining us this week on Cowboys Crosstalk. Patrick, what's going on?
Hey, man, first of all, go Dogs.
Of course.
Sorry about your Mizzou Tigers, but good fight.
Don't have to bring that up.
Good fight.
Don't have to bring that up. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm blessed as always, man. I'm here with you, Kev. I'm here with the great Nate Newton. I'm here with the Shark over there, Kenny Gant, man. No complaints, man. It's not a bad day.
Well, we're going to have some fun tonight here on Cowboys Crosstalk. Our Cowboys legend joining us this week out of Albany State.
Yes.
Defensive back, 8-year NFL veteran, 5, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 7 career interceptions, including a career-high 3 in 1992. That season, the Cowboys crushed the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 27, 52-17. Yes. Kenny the Shark Gant joining us this week on Cowboys Crosstalk. Kenny, what's going on?
You got 7 interceptions. A slot back. He was a slot coder.
I'm blessed to be here, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight, man.
It's tough getting those 7 picks in the slot.
Look, man, you did it, and you did it well. Of course, now a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Looking forward to the conversation tonight with you here as we get you ready for Cowboys-Giants. Before we get there, gentlemen, let's take a look back at an unfortunate loss on the road in Philadelphia. Patrick, I know you were there at Lincoln Financial Field, looking suave and everything next to Derek Eagleton out there.
Thank you,
as you're doing, checking the phone, doing what you got to do. Nate, obviously, coverage and looking at this game. Let's start with you, Nate. 28-23 loss, unfortunately, to Philadelphia. A lot of good things to take out of that football game, but ultimately a loss. What was your biggest takeaway from what happened on Sunday?
So, Patrick, I'm going to throw it straight to you. What was your biggest take?
Wait a minute.
What was your biggest take, though, C?
No. You can't do that. You got to answer the question.
Well, we going to waste the whole show, partner. You don't ask me nothing about that. I'm moving on. No, C. Talk to me.
I'm going to take the difference as respect from the legend.
All right.
My biggest takeaway is different from what happened in Week 5 against San Francisco. Coming out of Santa Clara, you had to wonder if this team would ever be mentally ready to get over that hump.
Yeah.
And we've yet to find out if they will, because they'll probably face the 49ers again.
Yes.
But the midterm exam, as I deemed it, was going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I wanted to see if they would go up into that hostile territory, if they would compete. They did exactly that. I don't subscribe to moral victories whatsoever, but it's also true that you can have some positive takeaways that you can help build on. This team was a game of inches, and this is one of the rare times in the NFL that I think that the better team did not win this particular week. I think this was a game that it was one knee, one toe, and one false start away from being the Cowboys.
About a foot and a half.
Yeah, away from the Cowboys taking. Now, this isn't to take anything away from the Philadelphia Eagles. They continue to find ways to win games. That is 100% true. But I am most certainly looking forward to the rematch. I think the series is going to split. Cowboys are going into a stretch of their season where they can hopefully bring together some wins. Eagles are going into the toughest stretch of their season. They've now lost Dallas Goedert to IR. They just put Nakobe Dean on IR. So let's see if they can overcome the same adversities that the Cowboys have had to overcome and losing key players.
Nate, Nate's like he don't want to talk about this. Look at it. Go ahead, Ken. I'm gonna get to Nate here in a second. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't even worry about it. I got him.
That is absolutely great conversation right there, because I can tell Goddard was hurt as soon as he went down to the ground. You know, HBCU, man. You know.
Yeah. when you put your arm out there.
You put your arm out there.
He threw his whole weight on that, man.
You know, not to try to hurt nobody, but you know, we gonna do what we gotta do.
It's football.
But it's that game. It almost made me sick. Some of the mistakes, the inches, even the last pass of the game. Just just throw it in there, give somebody a chance. I think 2 guys was in the end zone, bumped into each other, almost knocked each other out.
Right.
But you know, some positive stuff came out. I wanted to see them compete.
Okay.
And they competed. And I was okay with that. I don't subscribe to this moral victories either.
I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that, my friend. That is sweet.
But they did fight in a hostile territory.
A very hostile territory in Philadelphia. Nate, I do have a concern, though, when it comes to this offensive line. And I think you know where I'm going here when it comes to the right tackle. Terrence Steele, not a great game, and I'm putting it lightly on what happened on Sunday. What does this offensive line got to do specifically on that side to start to turn some things around, especially when it comes to protecting Dak Prescott, who had a fantastic game against Philadelphia?
First of all, you have to protect your offensive line. This kid is medically cleared to play. Our training staff, if I say anything else, our training staff will be all over me. You know how they are.
Absolutely.
Let me get that out of the way. He's medically cleared to play. But for each game that he has to go through this right here, and we give him no help to get his feet up under him, no game should be start without a tight end over there, without somebody going in motion, without a running back chipping. He should be able to get his feet up under him before you turn that kid. That was not right. You turned Hassan, one of the top 4 or 5 pass rushers in the league, loose on this kid.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Graham came in on the 18 snaps. Just fresh, fresh as fresh can be. And this kid right now is in a bad place mentally. I've been there.
Sure.
What we need to do is find a way to protect him. Because the only other way is to take him off the field, and you can't do that.
Right.
So you got to find a way to protect him. When we start this game against the Giants, they got Thibodeau, Kayvon. We have to protect him at least for the first half. Let him get some confidence.
Sure.
This kid, before he hurt his knee, he was a above average pass blocker and a great devastating run blocker. Now you've reduced him just to an okay guy. He's better than an okay guy.
Sure.
So it's going to take a year to get this because he had a total knee blow.
That's right.
It just wasn't one section, and it was a total. Yeah. So that is the only guy I'm going to take up for. Okay. I'm going to take up for Steele.
Yeah.
But now the rest of them, that's get tough.
Now I will say, watching Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith, I thought they were excellent on Sunday.
They were good.
They were fantastic.
They were good.
They
were good.
So Patrick, I ask you then, how does this run game? We're talking about Terrence Steele and what he was as a run blocker. How does this run game start to get going? Because, unfortunately, that has been, it appears, non-existent at times, and when you needed it most, you couldn't have it against the Philadelphia. Because how does the run game start to get going for this team?
Well, first and foremost, you have to establish continuity with your front 5. This front 5 has only now had 3 games thus far this season. They're 8 games into the season, only 3 with this particular combination. So the more reps they get, the more timing they get. You're starting to see it on the left side because earlier in the season, it was Tyler Smith. He was out a couple games. He came back week 3. Then guess what? You were missing 3 other starters. And then now you have Tyron. He misses a couple games with the neck stinger. He's back. So I think the more they're on the field together, the more the continuity will gel, and then you will start to see the run game start to kind of move forward. But I also want to say, keep an eye on who the competition is as well on the opposite side of the ball. When Tyron came back, guess who they had? The 49ers front.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And then you have teams like the Chargers front with Bosa and Khalil Mack. And then guess what? You just visited Philadelphia with that defensive front. They're now about to go against, and this isn't the same Giants team. They're going to play hard because they always play hard against the Cowboys. But this isn't the same Giants front that you went in and demolished in week 1, but your offense struggled. It was raining, but your offense struggled. So this isn't the same caliber of defense, I'm going to say, that you've been going against these past several weeks. Giants. The Commanders are going to give you a little bit of help. Guess what? Chase Young is gone.
That's right.
Right? So they shipped two defensive linemen out. I think these next few games are going to be key as long as everyone remains healthy.
Yes.
Tyron, Tyler, Zach, and Terrence, he gets his confidence back. Let the young man work through it. Get him some help over there until his confidence comes back. By the time you have this rematch with Philadelphia, if you have 6 or 7 total games of this five-man front, that should be better for your run game. Tony Pollard can start to be a little bit more effective. Rico Dowdle, he's already being effective.
Sure.
And maybe sprinkle in some Hunter Lipke. Maybe we get Deuce Vaughn.
No. Wait now. Hold on. What's going on now? What's going on now?
You're about to piss off North Dakota.
All we need,
the whole state.
All we need is Rico Dowdle. That's all we need.
Oh, yeah, I'm huge on Rico Dowdle. I'm right there with you.
Now we're talking about the combination of Pollard and Dowdle. Okay.
Forget, big don't make you powerful. And I'm gonna tell you something now.
Talk to him.
He's not a fullback. So all of y'all that think Lipke's a fullback,
he's not.
Go get Moose Johnson tape and look at what a fullback does. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
He is a well-rounded athlete.
I call him a flex back.
Yeah, that's what he is.
He's a flex back.
Now, what we need is for Rico and Tony to just rotate. Let Tony start. Don't be shy about bringing Rico. And if it's something wrong, then put Lipke in. But you got to start a rotation. Just because you gave a guy a bunch of money, you don't change who he is. Mm-hmm. You enhance who he is. We haven't enhanced Tony.
Right.
Yeah, but now I just go ahead and you was doing a great job until you messed my running back thing.
He's like, he wasn't feeling the running back.
To be clear, and I've been a big Rico Dowdle fan for 2 to 3 years now, but it's been injuries that have slowed his career.
Right.
And the biggest question going into this year's training camp with the departure of Ezekiel Elliott, the decision to move on, was with Tony Pollard moving to RB1, can Rico remain healthy? Because if he can, then we were confident that Rico could make an impact. And we're seeing that. So in what I mentioned mixing in Hunter Lipke, it's in those jumbo packages that you would assume that the bigger guy should be able to get in there and get you a couple of inches, get you a yard. Because if he can't get you a yard, why is he not on the inactive list when you could possibly use a gadget back and do something? I'm just saying it in that capacity.
Kenny, when you look at this team, and can you speak to the mindset of a player bouncing back from a divisional loss, a close loss in Philadelphia? Now you got to get right back in it for another divisional opponent, even though they're a little bit susceptible right now with the injuries they're dealing with. What's the mindset of getting ready for yet another divisional game after a tough one after dealing with Philadelphia last week?
Next man up. Hey, Jimmy Johnson didn't give us time to think about the next week.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
We came in and just had to go back to work. We knew our mindset doing after the game, flying back from the game. We ain't got to look at the tape. we knew what happened.
Sure.
And sometimes Jimmy would know if we're going to watch the tape or we're not. Mm-hmm. We know what we need to do. Let's do what we got to do.
Yeah.
And the mindset is just, division's going to play you hard every week. Yeah. Man, I think Arizona was in our conference way back in the day.
Yes.
They was getting blowed out 42-6, 35-10. Then they played the Cowboys. We escaped 13-10.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be ready for those games. Those guys study us well. And we vice versa have to be on top of our game too. And don't let this be a sneak up game either.
Yeah.
And think the Giants just getting rolled over. These guys,
they're getting paid too.
They're getting paid too. And they come into play and they want to upset somebody.
Cowboys take on the Giants on Sunday afternoon as the Cowboys look to bounce back. Giants dealing with a myriad of injuries, which we'll get into here in just a little bit. As Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC. Kevin Gray of 105 through the fan. Nate Newton of DallasCowboys.com. Also, Patrick No C. Walker joining us this week as well. And Kenny the Shark Gant joining us here live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Coming up next, we turn the page from Philly and get ready for the Giants. What do the Cowboys defensively need to do against a vulnerable Giants offense on Sunday? We'll dive into that conversation next on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Thank you.
Back to Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Back on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC, live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Kevin Gray of 105 through the Fan. Nate Newton, 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Let's get it up.
Patrick No C. Walker, DallasCowboys.com, joining us. And our Cowboys legend this week, Kenny the Shark Gant, joining us live at the Cowboys Club at SWBC. Customized solutions for individuals and businesses are just a click away. Visit SWBC.com to learn more and start your next adventure. The adventure continues in the NFC East this week for the Dallas Cowboys as they welcome in a team who's been riding one hell of a roller coaster so far. The 2-7 Giants come in having now lost their franchise quarterback, I say that loosely, to a torn ACL for the rest of the season. No Tyrod Taylor. That means Danny DeVito's second cousin, Tommy, is going to be starting at quarterback this week for the New York Giants. How does Dan Quinn, Nate Newton, and his defense begin to attack Mr. DeVito and Saquon Barkley and what has been a questionable offense so far this season for the Giants?
You know, this goes without saying. Once they stop Saquon, game over.
Yes.
There's this. If I'm Michael Parsons, I'm telling my big boys, Gallimore, and I'm telling Hankins, we're going to stop this run now. We're going to stop this within the 6 minutes of the first quarter so we can just rush the pass.
Yeah.
And our offense, if our offense get up by 7, they're going to panic.
Sure.
They're going to panic, man. So all you do is stop the run now and game over. That's just how I feel about it. That's really, you know, come on, man. I'm lost for words. I'm lost. Bro, I mean, what can you say?
I mean, Cowboys 16-point favorite going into the game
This
on Sunday.
college game. That's college scores, man. That's college, man.
Now, here's the interesting part
That's
about
University of Miami playing Florida A&M. Come on, man. 2 touchdowns
You're doing a lot.
easy.
You're doing
Come
a lot
on,
right
man.
now. I'm not going to lie to you. So here's the thing. 16-point favorite on Sunday. The over-under for the game, 38.5.
And we scoring 34.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Come on, man.
that gives you an idea of how Vegas is feeling about the Giants
That's
offense.
how I'm feeling.
That's how you're feeling, too.
Yeah.
Wow. No, C, you feeling the same way about this Giants
Come
offense?
on, C.
Decimated by injury?
Absolutely. Let me qualify it by saying the following. This is the NFL. Any given Sunday.
Sure.
Those
Don't
guys
do
get
that.
played too. Don't mess around and find out. Is what I'm saying.
Don't do that.
And by that, Big Nate, I mean going there with the same intensity that you went into MetLife Stadium in Week 1 and try to walk them out of this stadium. Period. Don't play with your food. Don't go in there thinking, oh well, this is we'll look past them and try to get. That's how you lost in Arizona. Okay, you go in there, you delete Saquon Barkley, you get up an early lead, and then you force this undrafted rookie quarterback to see ghosts. It's Micah Parsons, it's DeMarcus Lawrence, it's Dorrance Armstrong, it's Osa, it's Neville, it's Jonathan Hankins. Let Mozzie get in on the party.
Sure.
Make him panic because his weapons, you also lost Darren Waller to IR as well. Jalen Hyatt has not panned out thus far for you. Wan'Dale Robinson could give you a little bit of trouble in the slot, but that's not what's going to change this game, okay? Darius Slayton, what has he done?
Sure.
I mean, he's 55% as far as catch percentage. He has hands of rocks. Like, they're made of rocks, right? So you go in there, you focus on this young rookie quarterback, and the way to take him out of the game is to force the game onto Saquon Barkley, shut him down. Saquon is 0-9 against the Dallas Cowboys lifetime, and he averages that many less yards, that many fewer yards against Dan Quinn in the Dan Quinn era. Dan Quinn knows how to shut down Saquon Barkley. Once that happens, like Big Nate said, you stare at that undrafted rookie quarterback and you say, I dare you to drop back.
Sure. Yes. And, Kenny, when you look at a team that has been decimated the way that the Giants have, you'd never take an opponent lightly, especially a division opponent. But these guys pay attention to know what's going on in the league. We got a guy who does a show every single week who's talking about the league and what's going on in the league. As a player, how do you make sure that there is not a letdown from a mindset standpoint, even with dealing with an opponent that's dealing with as much as the Giants are, to ensure you're coming out with a win in that game?
Man, just stay focused. And our focus in the days, just snatch them off the bus.
Yeah.
And beat them down right out the bus.
I love it.
Just take
You meet them at the front door,
just
kicking it down.
Just take everything they got.
Yeah.
That they think they got. Just take it right off the bus. And when they touch the field, they just uncomfortable. We did San Francisco like that in the NFC Championship. we didn't let them get introduced in our stadium.
Sure.
You remember that now? Bruh.
It's not going to happen.
Okay. We walking out on the field, right? We getting ready to start the game.
Yeah.
Him, Pup, they done Jerry Rice them up over there, throwing blows, threatening their lives. I'm looking like, man, if Jerry cut loose on us today, I'm going to beat y'all to death. They didn't care. These boys didn't care, man.
Sure.
They was, the old NFL wasn't right.
Bully mentality.
They bullied him too, man.
Yeah.
They bullied him right off the bus, man.
And it shouldn't be no letdown. They know these guys make money just like they do.
Sure.
And, you don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
And that would be embarrassing.
It would be. It would be much like how the Cowboys embarrassed the Giants in Week 1, Nate. Right. When you look at this team now, when you define how this team needs to bounce back from what happened against Philadelphia, how much can I learn about the Cowboys this week against an opponent that's dealing with as much as the Giants, knowing what we have already seen them do against this team earlier on this year?
When we play teams that's been injured like the Giants, all jokes aside, what Coach would tell us, all I expect from y'all see the film. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You see the same film we see.
Mm-hmm.
All we're going to ask you to do is be concerned about the Dallas Cowboys. You go out and play Dallas Cowboy football. Whatever that is, you play it. Come out of this game with a clean game. And what he meant by clean games, no pre-snap penalties, nothing stupid, no grabbing, no face mask. Right. Just play hard, play Cowboy football, and you'll be okay. And if you win by 1 point, he never raised no sand. Nope. If we won by 1 point, he never raised no sand. If we won by 30, he never raised no sand because we got out of that game. Because the big game is to come.
Sure.
Yes. So just get out of the game. Win these next 2 or 3 games, by hook or by crook. Just win the game.
Yeah.
Play good.
Yes.
Play solid. Play fast. That's all you got to do.
No, see, as you know, Cowboys have an 11-game home winning streak. It's been dominant at home over the last 11 games. How do they continue that, making sure that there's no letdown, especially knowing that these next 3 games, you got a chance to get yourself possibly to 8-3, and by the time you see Philadelphia, who's got a difficult portion of their schedule, you could be right there at the NFC East. How do they continue to move toward that starting this weekend?
Here's how you make the loss to the Eagles serve you mentally. You come off of that and you feel that burn, and then you look yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what, we can't allow ourselves to lose twice in 2 weeks to 2 division opponents.
Sure.
We have to get our get back, and we got to get it right now, and the Giants just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's how you have to look at it. And then you go from there. You build on that. This is finally approaching the stretch after playing 4 of your first 6 on the road, 5 of your first 7 on the road. You're about to have 4 of your next 5 on the road. Talk about home cooking, 11 straight, turn it into 12, then 13, then 14, then 15, and then when the Eagles come in, now maybe you're sitting at 9-3, maybe they're at 9-3 or they're at 10-2, but you're right there, and now this is still a race for the NFC East.
Sure.
Make sure you handle your business. Biggest thing is using what happened in Philadelphia to propel you forward, because now you can't relax. There's no relax in it. If you want the race for this NFC East to be real when they come to town on December 10th, the Giants have to be the first example that you set. Yes. Don't play down the competition. Like the Shark said, drag them off the bus. This is my bike, punk.
No, see, going full Debo out there.
Yeah, this is my bike, punk.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I like that clip there, man. You choked that dude out,
Go to sleep.
Y'all are hilarious tonight. Well, I got all the jokes.
Who else wants some?
See, look at you now. See, now you're going all the way in. Now you're going all the way in. Nate, tell me, what would a message be for this team this week, knowing what's in front of them and how you have to continue to move forward in that vein, even after what happened against Philadelphia? What message would you have for this team about their preparation this week?
I think we've just been fortunate that we've always had a home game, or we've had a opponent that we could take this vengeance out on.
Sure.
And so Coach McCarthy does a great job of whatever he's doing of getting these guys prepared. So I hate to say this, but we operated out of fear. I don't know what
Jimmy
Coach
had the fear God put in y'all,
bro, we operated out of fear. I'm not joking. So I don't know, because our competition when we played was so great.
Yes.
You would lose your job through injury.
Sure.
So you would lose your job. Or, so I don't know what Coach McCarthy's doing, but whatever he's doing a great job. I mean, you're a little closer to the team than I am. You go over there. So what do you feel and see?
The biggest thing is, and kudos to McCarthy, because the difference between you guys' era and 2023 and most recently is the CBA, the way it's designed, and the restrictiveness of what is allowed as far as number of hours these guys can be on the field, number of hours they can even be in the building in a meeting room. So then it goes to the ability of the coach and his coaching staff to use tools like analytics and GPS and workload management to try to figure out what's the optimal way for what works best for Nate based on his GPS numbers, what works best for Kenneth based on his GPS numbers.
A young Miller Lite.
Right, basically. So he has it structured.
I like that. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, he has it structured in a way where he's found the sweet spot. McCarthy has. He's found the sweet spot in what's allowed, what's not allowed, and he's using it to his favor, obviously, particularly when it comes to home games. He's got the magic, and I know a lot of people, like today, for example, it was a walkthrough for the Cowboys, but it was full practice for the Giants. And a lot of people, on Twitter/X, they were like, well, why are we doing a walkthrough if they're doing full practice? It's not a short week for us. This is a Sunday to Sunday game. I said, listen, when you got an 11-game home win streak, I'm not questioning you. Mike's got the magic.
He's got the formula right now.
Yeah, go do you, Big Mike.
It is Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan. 3-time Super Bowl champion Nate Newton. Patrick Nosey, Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Kenny the Shark Gant joining us live here at the Cowboys Club. Coming up next year on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, let's turn our attention to the Cowboys offense and how they attack this Giants defense without Leonard Williams and some of these guys that the Giants do and do not have. How do Dak Prescott and this offense get after the Giants defense? We'll do that next on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Back to Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Back on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. Kevin Gray of 105.3 The Fan, DallasCowboys.com zone. Patrick No. C. Walker, Nate Newton, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and our Cowboys legend this week, Kenny the Shark Gant, joining us here live on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. I might have Kenny do his shark dance a little bit later on.
Hey.
I had a request from a certain DallasCowboys.com member say, hey, maybe Kenny might do the shark dance tonight. Yeah. We might have to let you cut that loose a little bit later on. As the Cowboys
up on the table like we
back in the day. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, Nate. Let's thank our next partner here on the show tonight, Jack Black. Want to use what the pros use like Nate? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit JackBlack.com. Today, you can get a nice clean shave like Nate's got right now.
Yeah, that is jet black.
I was wondering who was going to catch that before I corrected myself on the read, so I appreciate Nate.
I tried to stay away from it.
No, it's cool. Nate got me.
He can't help himself. He can't help himself.
Speaking of Jets, it felt like the Jets were turned on for this offense for the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick, I'm going to start with you because I love the way that one Rain Dakota Prescott's playing football right now, putting the team on his back, well over 300 yards. Him and CeeDee Lamb's connection right now. In Fuego, I would like to say, what has been the best part of what you've seen from Four over the last several weeks that you can feel confident he could take forward with him now for the rest of the season?
He's not forcing what's not working.
Sure.
When you go back and you look at some of the things that caused the Cowboys offense to struggle as they were trying to get some kind of continuity and some chemistry in the Texas Coast offense over the first 3 or 4 weeks, it was a lot of him trying to force the issue in certain spots. Mm-hmm. But go back to the Chargers game, and although they only won that game 20-17, look at 10 targets being forced to Michael Gallup on a day where Michael Gallup just didn't have it. So some of those targets should have gone to a guy like Jake Ferguson, for example, to help Fergie kind of get going more. Now you're talking about what happened against the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the game goes through, guess what, wide receiver one. It goes through CeeDee Lamb.
How about that?
It's forcing opposing defenses to try to account for him, and they're finding out they can't. Why? Because Big Mike is scheming him open. He's scheming him in the slot. He's scheming him on the outside. So now teams try to account for him, can't, but then they forget, oh, God, Jake Ferguson, he can make plays as well. So kudos to Dak Prescott as well, because now Jake he's always been getting open, but now he's getting the targets. 10 targets against the Philadelphia Eagles, over 90 yards. He can get it done. That's ultimately just going to keep the explosiveness coming from the passing game. Dak Prescott, he's decisive. He's not forcing it. And stop me if you've heard this before, because we've been waiting for it. He's using his legs to extend plays.
He is.
And helping those playmakers get open, because the coverage windows start to lengthen. And when you're asking defenders to cover CeeDee Lamb for longer periods of time, Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, good luck with that. So it all starts with good scheme and play calling and just great execution lately from Dak Prescott. I love that you said Rain Dakota Prescott. Give him his full government name when he's balling like the way he's balling.
That's right. Nate, I'm going to take it to you on this one, because as good as this pass offense has been over the last several weeks, is this type of football, this type of play sustainable for the long run if you're not going to get the kind of run game that you're going to have to try to have some balance for this offense? Is this sustainable for this Cowboys offense for the rest of the season?
Yes, it is. You listen to any of the shows I'm a part of, it will not be a time when I will say, I need my instinctive Dak. I need the guy that was at Mississippi State, the guy that came here for 3-4 his first years of just moving around. You know, everybody think you have to run. Even with Jalen Hurts being hurt, his ability just to move around. In this league, if you have a quarterback, it's rare now that you just like Herbert for the Chargers. It's rare. Even he takes off and run now.
Sure.
Just to make people respect the lanes. If it wasn't for Dak, it'd have been 30 sacks, bro. If we'd had that Dak that was hesitant the first few, we'd have had 30 sacks. Yeah. But he moved around, man. And I'ma say this, and I ain't never back down. And I tell my wife, I say, if Dak move around and be instinctive, we will have a chance in every game. Sure. That's with or without a run game. I just believe that. Because our defense, now I think they're starting to mature. You know, because I've seen it where back-to-back where they've stopped the run. So they're starting to mature.
Kenny, when you watch a quarterback playing well at an extremely high level, what does that do for the confidence of the entire football team? When Troy was on a roll, what did that do for the entire confidence of the football team, both offensively and for you defensively?
Man, he's the coach on the field, you know, and we move when he moves.
Yeah,
it's
just like that.
Just like that.
That's just like that. Just like that. Yeah.
And one of the things, and Troy wasn't a runner. But if he had to step out of the pocket or step up in the pocket, one of the worst things I ever used to hate to cover is Randy Cunningham moving.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Wow.
Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's like now you got to find your receiver, your back turned. You don't know where the receiver's at.
Yeah.
So him improvising like that, I can tell you now, it puts defensive backs in a strain.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Yes. And it's I love to see him moving. Mm-hmm. And I do cringe when they get too close to him.
When they flip him.
He pulled his best John Elway the other day trying to do that. Yeah.
I don't want to see him get injured again.
Sure.
But he's doing what he needs to do, and I love his confidence right now.
One of the things that we've seen from this offense, too, Nate, I'll take it to you on this one, the emergence of the tight end and Jake Ferguson, the connection that Dak Prescott and Ferguson are continuing to show and continuing to grow with. What has impressed you most about the growth of Jake Ferguson being that guy, starting to take that tight end #1 role and take it to the next level for this team?
When they drafted him, the 4th pick out of Wisconsin, am I correct?
Fourth round.
Fourth round.
Yep.
Fourth round.
Wisconsin,
Out of 4th pick for the Cowboys. I told Isaiah stand back because he wanted the kid, the linebacker that's hurt from Philadelphia. He felt we should have got that kid.
Jacoby.
Yeah. I said, no, man, this dude, a kid from Iowa, a kid from Wisconsin, I'm loving because he going to fight. He going to fight. He may not be a great run blocker, but he going to fight. And he going to be gritty. And he going to be blue collar.
Yeah.
And he going to, bruh, you can say what you want. The kid down there with the Houston Texans caught for 800 yards this year, and I'll still take Fergie. I'll still take Fergie right now today.
Yeah.
This kid going to be a beast. Dak, you better believe in this kid. This kid text Dak after one of them ugly games. Dude, I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you,
love
man.
That. Yeah, love
Come
that.
on, man. Dak, you better – man,
I've never seen Nate get this fighter for a tight end.
Man.
Look at
I've
that.
been talking about this kid for 2 or 3 years.
Look at that.
And you excited for him?
You know I'm right there with you. Last year when the Cowboys got Jake Ferguson, I looked at his Wisconsin tape and I said, you know what, this kid has it. This kid has the opportunity to be the guy in the post-Schultz era. And I predicted that the Cowboys will move on from Dalton Schultz because of Jake Ferguson.
Yes.
And so they did. So then the question was in the offseason, okay, now that's done. Can Jake step up and be that guy? What did Jake do? He went in the lab. He added some muscle mass so he can be a better blocker. He improved his blocking. He got with George Kittle, Travis Kelce. He took his pass catching.
That's right.
Right, took his pass catching to another level. But here's also what I love about him. This is a dog mentality. Look at any one of these games that he's played in 2023. Hell, just go back to the Philadelphia Eagles game when he pulled Kevin Byard off of his quarterback. Byard then tries to square up, pushes off of him, and Byard bounces back 3 yards.
Yeah.
Jake
Hands inside, perfect.
Jake Ferguson.
He short chopped him, bro.
Jake Ferguson.
I thought that was a young, what's the Kung Fu man? Bruce Lee. I thought he had to hit him with that hard shot.
Bruce Lee
reference.
Or Bruce Leroy. Even better, Bruce Leroy. He had the glow. Yeah. Jake Ferguson has the glow.
The glow.
He has the glow, baby. I like that. Bruce Leroy.
I love it. Jake Ferguson, he has the it factor for me.
Yes.
He's the definitive tight end one.
Yes.
I said it in training camp when it was, will it be him or will it be Schoonmaker once Schoonmaker gets ramped up?
Sure.
And I said, I believe Schoonmaker has some talent, but until further notice, you got to come and take this from Jake Ferguson.
Yes.
And that's how he's playing. He's playing like you got to take this from me. You got to take this ball from me. You got to take this route from me. And anything my quarterback wants me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get in the mud. I'm going to block for him. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to run routes, and you're not going to be able to stay with me after the break. I'm going to get open for him. Jake Ferguson is – mark my words, but before Bruce Leroy, but before this season is over, he's going to be a top 3 tight end in this league. We're talking Kelce, Kittle, and then Jake Ferguson. Watch what I tell you.
7 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. It's funny that you mentioned Travis Kelce. he loves himself some Jake Ferguson.
Yes, he does.
Feels like Jake Ferguson reminds him a lot of himself as one of the best
minus
pass
the Taylor Swift.
Well, I mean, you know.
He can't win on every front. He can't win on every front.
Yeah. Look, man, Jake, he doing all right. Jake, he's
that
doing
is.
all right. I mean, Jake
That
doing all right.
is.
Shout out to Jake Ferguson.
That is, if you know, you know.
That's right. That's right. But it has been fun to watch his emergence this year, and you're seeing the growth between those two, the chemistry between he and Dak Prescott, only going to continue to get better for this team as you watch this group. Shout out to Linda Wells doing a fantastic job with that tight end group there here in Dallas. Kenny, I'm going to take this last one to you before we go to break. So now going into this week, you've got another divisional opponent. You lost to the Eagles, but now you're going to take on an inferior Giants team. What's going to be the key to victory for you based off of what the Cowboys need to do against the Giants in your mind?
Well, I was a big-time special teams guy.
Oh, that played a major part in Week 1 against the Giants, for sure.
I'm always going to – and I'm always optimistic about special teams because, you know, Michael Irvin, Troy, you got Emmett. My optimism, Troy or Mike or Emmett never started a game. They call them starters.
Right.
Nate started.
Right.
I started the game, though.
Yes, right.
I was on kickoff return.
That's right.
I remember they used to tell her, I'm a starter. Introduce me. You used to tell Coach Johnson, introduce us, y'all.
That's right.
We the special team.
I'm going to be on the field first. I'm going to be on the field first.
You do it crazy,
Yeah,
man.
I love Aubrey. I'm always
Look at him showing some love for the kicker. I like what you're doing over there. I like what you're doing.
I was good friends with the kickers and the punters.
Yeah.
Saxon. I still hang out with Saxon, my punter in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's Tommy Barnhart. We still talk on the phone. I was just always close with those guys to keep them encouraged as well because they're part of the team, man.
Sure.
We don't want them.
Because we ain't have no
Loose
love
way.
for him. No line. He just a kicker. Remember how we used to dog them kickers out? No wonder they thought it was tough. Because they had Gant ride
You
with them.
mentioned something earlier about, Ferguson.
Yeah.
What was and you mentioned something about us being scared.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a really good team. We was a scared team.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy drafted people to take my place.
Man, that's scary, bro. The money, we didn't have that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So when they drafted somebody, if it was a first round, second or third round pick, you like, come on, coach.
Hey, brother, coming for my job at that point. Yeah.
Will McClay would do that to you, too.
Yeah.
That Schoolmaker's here. Ferguson was the 4th-round pick with Dalton Schultz there.
That's right.
Will McClay is not afraid to
Just
both
look
be
at-
your friend and hire your replacement. And then look at you in the face and say, what you going to do now?
That
That's
should
called
bring,
business
That should bring the competitiveness to the locker room.
Yes.
And there's no, it shouldn't be no.
And we still hung out.
And we gonna hang out. We gonna do
hang
our
out,
thing.
man.
We know why we all here. So
Yeah.
Let's take our next break here on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. Kevin Gray of 105 through the fan. 3-time Super Bowl champion Nate Newton. Patrick No-C Walker of DallasCowboys.com. 2-time Super Bowl champion Kenny the Shark Gant joining us here live at the Cowboys Club. Coming up next, let's catch up with our Cowboys legend, Kenny the Shark Gant, what he's got going on. Then we get into predictions against the Giants. I know what Nate's going to say, so we don't want to ask him. But we'll ask everybody else next on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Break, so.
Tax season coming.
back to Dallas Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Final time here on the Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC, live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Kevin Gray of 105.3 The Fan, three-time Super Bowl champion, six-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton, Patrick No. C. Walker of DallasCowboys.com, and our two-time Super Bowl champion, Kenny the Shark Gant, joining us live at the Cowboys Club here. Really appreciate you joining us live on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network as we get you ready for Cowboys-Giants and America's Game of the Week once again on Fox. And, of course, on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network with the voice of America's team, Brad Sham, Babe Laufenberg, and Christy Scales patrolling the sidelines as always. Let's catch up with our Cowboys legend, Kenny the Shark Gant. And, Kenny, I want to make sure that for those that don't know, how did you get the nickname, the Shark?
I love telling I don't like to tell lies. So we used to do it in practice, just being scout team for other teams. And we used to do it just a little shark, put the shark's fin up. The shark's out today just trying to stop Michael Irvin, which was a tall task in itself. And at 92, we was going into the playoffs. You know, we was rolling.
Yeah.
And a reporter asked me after the game, what was I was doing with my hand. I don't even know what I was, because that's something we didn't do in the game.
Yeah.
And I said, we pulled the shark's fin out, and, you know, that was it.
Yeah.
And then the next day in the newspaper, you know, they said, you know, Kenny Gant rolling into the playoffs with a new shark dance. But it's actually Kevin Smith. They used to do that at Texas A&M. They used to practice down there.
Yeah.
So it got me, and I just rolled with it.
You just roll with it. You just roll with it from there.
Yeah.
All the way to a Super Bowl. Describe for me, what was that like? With Nate, obviously, as a teammate, and what that year was like, and just rolling through not just the playoffs, but obviously when you get to taking on Buffalo in the Super Bowl, what was that experience like going through all of that championship season?
It was, if you look at the end of the game, I was in full, complete tears. I've had an opportunity to meet Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
During that time, I danced with a couple of people that I seen on TV, Gina and Pam from Martin, and we just had a good time. You know, the whole experience. My parents never flew, so they flew out there. So at the end of the game, I was just full of emotions because everybody that told me I wasn't gonna play, then I wasn't gonna start. I'm too small. He come from a small town. Whatever you thought.
School.
All these I came from HBCU.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting at the top, and without no animosity to nobody. Just was grateful.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And because I knew what I had inside of me.
Yeah.
And just that experience, just to hear Jimmy Johnson say some words. Just act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
For us to be a young team like that, to be in the locker room, you know, could have been nervous. Hard to go to sleep the night before the game.
Sure.
And for Jimmy to say words of wisdom, just to say, just act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just drop a weight, and we just played loose, man. We played like we practiced.
To the tune of a beatdown of 52-17 over the Buffalo Bills. Real quick, talk about the HBCU bond that obviously the two of you have, Florida A&M, Alabama, Albany State, obviously, in Georgia. That bond that the two of you share when it comes to HBCUs and what that means for both of you. Nate, I'll start with you.
It's just a great thing, man, you know, to come from where you come from because, you know, I could have went to a major college. Georgia even, you know, offered me a scholarship. But I chose this. You just don't wake up saying I'm going to Albany State or Florida A&M.
Yeah.
You kind of got to choose that.
Sure.
And so when I played, because everybody was still high, no matter where you was slotted, a 5-star, 4-star, they still came at you. So I wanted to go there because my whole high school went there. My whole high school went to Falmouth, either Bethune. Yeah. So that's why I went.
Wow.
And so when I went, but I didn't know dealing with us, black folk, but like that. It's like that. It ain't never going to be no game. Yeah. That's the event.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a part. Everything was a party.
Yeah.
Even going to class. You know, you got the cues and the cap and stepping off. I'm like, Lord, you can't even go to class.
Right.
What was that choice like for you in choosing Albany State in that way?
Choosing Albany State, I was a little different. I wasn't I can't say I was a bright student. I was a big dreamer.
Sure.
So I've always was dreaming, daydreaming, seeing myself in the NFL. So I didn't have the grades to go, but I never doubted myself that I could cover a Dennis McKinnon.
Yeah.
People out there play. I never doubted that I could cover Willie Gault.
Yeah.
I've seen these guys, but dude, I could do this.
Yeah.
I just always, and I wanted to get away from my dad's house, man. It don't matter where I went. I wanted to get out of the house.
That's me too, man. That's funny, man. My dad told me, I was like, Dad, I'm going to stay with you. He said, no, with that rent. I said, well, you know what, I guess I'll
have to go.
Right, they ain't paying no rent.
You have to go and ride on out.
Yeah.
Ride on out. Well, Kenny, we really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight,
great,
man. And
thank you so much for having me.
Been a lot of fun. Obviously, Cowboys-Giants on Sunday afternoon. Expected win for this team, but as Nosey said earlier, any given Sunday, I know what Nate gonna say, Cowboys by 1 or by 100, as long as they win. Real quick, in 30 seconds, tell me why the Cowboys win this game on Sunday.
I think they treat this game like they did week 1, and I think the loss to Philadelphia and the fashion in which they did is a sour taste in their mouth that they're going to try to rinse out, and they're going to use the Giants to do that. So I think they get out and play bully ball. Like Kenneth said, I think they drag them off the bus, and they get out to an early lead. They punish the young undrafted quarterback and turn it into a blowout. I think the Giants get a garbage time touchdown when it doesn't matter, but I'm calling this 46-7 for the Cowboys.
Wow. Okay, 39-point beat down. Nate, how the Cowboys finish this thing against the Giants on Sunday, get a win?
All I know is, man, once they drag them off the bus, like, wait, kids,
look, Kenny got the line today. Drag them off the bus, okay?
Take them off the bus. At least wipe your boots off, man, so clear yourself from the crime scene. You know what I'm saying? At least wash your hands. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking some Jason Bourne killing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
The Florida,
Who knew Nate Newton was a movie buff? Shout out to you, Nate. Look at you, man.
Yeah,
look, when you're not watching film, you're apparently watching Jason Bourne films. Look at you. Cowboys win?
Cowboys win big.
Big, okay.
Yes.
As big as 46-7?
I'm still at 4. Reason I like 46, that was my HBCU number.
Oh, well, look at there. Come on, look at that.
I'm going to stay at 46, and I'm going to give them 7.
Okay. Oh, so same score.
For a garbage.
Okay.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Touchdown.
I don't even like the garbage points.
No,
because I want.
You're looking for a shutout.
I want the people that come in off the bench to keep whooping them off the bus.
So the defensive back looking for the shutout. On Sunday.
I want a shutout.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, you gotta love that. For
after them theft threats and Leon led in that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Look, Cowboys should win this game big. Hopefully no more threats, though. No more threats. We don't need any more of that. Really appreciate Kenny the Shark Gant for joining us this week on Cowboys Crosstalk. A lot of fun. Appreciate you joining us this week.
Pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Patrick No-C Walker, as always, my man. Good to see you. Even if your Georgia Bulldogs handle business against my Missouri Tigers, I'll let that slide
It's
this
all
week,
business, baby. Strictly business.
I know it is,
Strictly
man.
business.
Doggone SEC, man. Can't stand it. Nate, good to see you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Bruce Leroy, he got the glow, baby.
He got that glow.
Bruce Leroy got that glow, baby. I like
Cowboys Giants at 3:25 on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. We'll talk to you next week on Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you later.
Bless.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this?